a tutti. Welcome to Italian America, Long Island. My name is Dave Anthony Setteducati. You know, Italians have been coming to America since 1492. Of course, Columbus, who discovered America, went back to Europe to tell everyone about his wonderful discovery, which led to millions of people coming to the United States. Even though the great period of Italian immigration, which happened from 1890 to 1930, is long over, Italians are still coming to the United States to discover their own new world here in America. I'm very happy to have some of my friends from the Sellaro Lodge here. Please welcome Mr. Joseph Moriale, his lovely wife Anna, and my dear friend Mr. Ralph Pace.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno to all. So, I'd like to start off by asking you a question, Joe. When did you leave Italy?
I left in 1954 to reach my father. He was in South America, Venezuela, already there working, providing for us in Italy. We took a boat from Naples and took 15 days to reach Venezuela. We went over there, I stayed 5 years, and I went to meet my relative. They were in New York. They already established their business. I wanted to see how New York was.
And how old were you then, Joe?
Not even 18 years old.
Not even 18.
Yes.
So you did not come over with your lovely wife Anna?
No, by myself, by plane.
So now Anna, when did you leave Italy?
Actually, I was born in Sicily, a town called Prizzi. We went to Torino. I lived there for 5 years, and then my dad was able to get his passport because he was a native in New York, because he had gone to war and lost his citizenship. So he wrote to his godfather, and everything went well, and 5 years later, he was able to get to New York with his American passport.
So he had been in New York previously, and then he went back to Italy?
Yes. Well, he was born in New York.
Oh, he was born in New York?
He was born in New York, I would say in the early 1900s. His father was worked on a railroad, on a tunnel.
Oh, very interesting. Very
And then
interesting.
they had 3 children. At one point, one child was ran by a car and died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And my grandmother said, no, I want to go back. So he took my grandmother back, and he said, I'm going to go back and make some money, and then I come back. Meantime, she got pregnant, so when he got to Palermo to get the boat to come back to New York, his passport was stolen. So they sent him to Cuba. So after many, many years, he was able to leave and went back home and found a child that he didn't even know.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's, and then, like I said, we had gone to Torino. We lived there for 5 years, and then we were able to come to New York. My dad came a year before us. We came in August in 1959.
Wonderful. And Ralph, how about you? When did you leave Italy?
I come from with a Leonardo Ridge in 1969. I'm also born in Sicily, and funny they should mention Torino because I was there myself. I spent 80 years of my life there, and that's where I come when I come to this country. That's where I come from Torino.
From Torino. How old were you when you left Italy?
I left Italy. I was 25.
You were 25. Was it difficult to leave to come to live in the United States, and how was it difficult for you?
Well, for me it was difficult because I was not even 13 years old. I left my friends, because the soccer game, I was an auto boy, it was hard for me to leave my friends. But I left because my father was over there.
And was it difficult for you?
Yes, very difficult because it was like, when I came to America, it was like a new world. It was hard. I left a boyfriend, which kind of broke off, but it was a new world. Having to learn a new language. I didn't know a word of English.
And you speak very well, I must add. You speak very, very
So
well.
we went night school, and that's where we met.
And how about you, Ralph? Did you find it a difficulty?
Very difficult. It's not easy. It was like a lifetime, separation. You don't know if you're ever coming back again. You have friends. you live all your life there, you were a very close friend that you grew up with, and it's very hard thinking about to stay away from them. And besides, you know, you come to another country that you don't know what to expect. The languages was a major problem, but also the situation of the jobs. You don't know what kind of situation you're gonna find when you arrive over here. So there were a lot of things that you make you think about and make you worry about.
So now, who made the decision to come to the United States?
In my case, it was my parents, because they live in Sicily. I used to live in Torino with my brothers. I have two brothers. One was a carabiniere and one was a carpenter. And but I was living by myself because you know they were living their own life. And then my brother, the carabiniere, got married. He's the one who came to this country first. And when I decided to come into this country, because of my parents, they feel that there was a time for me to get a future, you know, get involved with something, because I was really crazy when I was young, you know. I had no steady jobs, I had no money, you know, so they were worried about a little bit that I would, you know, follow the family.
Family followed.
Correct.
And how about you, Joe? That was your father's decision?
Well, my father, before he went to Venezuela, he went to France. That time, after the war, there was no work in Italy, you know, especially in Sicily, you know. He went to France to look for work. Over there was plenty of work. But in the meantime, her sister, she went to Venezuela. And Sellaro came over here, got a chance to make more money. That's why he went to Venezuela.
Okay.
Eventually, we all follow him. I didn't work, but my father, because his sister, when they came over here, they were in the shoe business.
In shoe business?
Naturally wanted me to become a shoemaker. I figured, oh, this way when you go over there, you find a way. That's what I started to become a shoemaker, fixing shoes. When I came over here, the next day I went to work.
Oh, beautiful. And you had a shoe shop here?
Yeah, eventually we had a shoe shop.
Oh, very good. How about you, Ralph? What did you do over in Sicily?
Not in Sicily, in Torino. I was just selling books door to door, you know. I was selling wine from store to store. I was trying to do all this odd jobs here and there, you know, nothing permanent. Until I found out that I was coming to this country, and my brother Tony said, you should learn something, you know, why don't you become a beautician? I said, no, I can do very well over here. So I went to school for 3 months, at least 3 months I was in Torino to become a beautician. You know, it was I learned very little because it was a very quick job, you know, but I needed a license. Then I found out that I don't need the license, so I was worthless over here because I want to come in New York.
Oh.
You need a new license. So I went back to school when I right over here. I went to and this school was in Manhattan in 42nd Street and 8th Avenue. And the owner was Italian, and that's what I was, you know, until I passed my license.
When you came to the United States, did you work?
Yes.
And what did you do?
Well, I went to school for 6 months. When I reached 17, I got my Social Security to work in the city on Broadway as a seamstress. I learned that I do lampshades. So when we got married and I had the children, I made some cards and I left them in the stores. When we got married, I worked with him in Times Square, helping with the shoe repair shop. So when we got here, it wasn't like I left Sicily, because I got used to Torino.
It was a big city.
Big city, you know, we had the refrigerator,
Like in New York.
toilets, which in Sicily we didn't
You
have.
didn't even have toilets.
No. We also had to get water, because we didn't have water in the house. So it was different from when I went from Sicily to Torino. That's my hardest.
Yeah.
It was like I already knew the ways, so it wasn't as shocking as some people who come straight from Sicily.
Okay. So, in what way was your life in Italy different than life in the United States? Ralph, you want to start with that one?
Well, life in Italy is a little more mellow. You know, you take it day by day without any worry, you know, pretty much, you know. when you arrive in this country, you become different, situation. Everything is in a hurry. You do everything. You're rushing everywhere. Even if you feel not to go anywhere, you still rush because you already train yourself to go that way. In Italy, you fight a life. That's why probably they don't have as many heart attacks. Like in this country.
Yeah.
Most of the people who are economically, they are in the same situation you are. So we understand each other. So you live day by day, helping each other in a way. And because of that, you feel close to them, and they feel close to you. It's a little different in life. I'm not sure how it is right now because after so many years, things have changed. But when I was there, it was we were helping each other.
Yeah, more of a community oriented.
Correct. We were more friendly.
Okay. What would you say?
Well, same thing what he say. I was used to, go to school. I went to after school in Italy. I went to see my soccer game. Over here, come over here. No, actually, when I went to South America, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, was like I
Third
said,
world country?
yeah, was behind even in Sicily.
It was behind Sicily.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because especially for 1 year, we stay on the farm.
Okay.
And the particular farm was no light, no electric, no back house, like you said. Was really bad. And then we went to the city, started to improve. Over here, you got more opportunity. You got more opportunity if you apply yourself, if you know the language. But right now, since we left, Italy is, I don't say it's even with the United States, but very comfortable people that live there.
Okay.
But after that we left, we enjoy here. We got the best we can from here.
Right. How about you? What did you think, Anna? Is life better in Italy or in America? What do you think?
It's a different life.
Just a different life.
It's a totally different life. Over there, like especially in Sicily, in the summer you spent, with your parents, and the wheat, the olives, the grapes that the grandparents had. They had a house with an oven in it, so we spent the summer there, relaxing. But like you said, it's a totally different way of living.
Had you been back to Italy?
We went back twice.
You went back twice.
Twice.
Okay. Did you go to Torino?
I went to Torino because my grandfather was there with my aunt, and then we took the train to Sicily.
And the second time, what did you do?
The second time we went to Bagheria, that's where he's from. And a friend of ours who had been here, who went back, really brought us, to many, many places of beauty, and it was great. And then from there we went to my hometown, and we saw the procession of Easter, Good Friday, Holy Thursday, and Easter, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's what she wanted to do. She remembers when she
because
was
had
there,
never seen it.
little kid,
They never seen it.
And
But
then
they
they
do everything live.
Yes.
Life Stations of the Cross, life procession, where the Blessed Mother meets the Son. She's in black, and then as they approach, he sees that he's resurrected, and the mantle go down, and she's black and blue. They had devils and death. So as they get closer, death wants to kill. No, the devils kill the death.
That's a little
with
show
the-
that
with
put
the
outside.
Okay.
And
Live
then
show.
they go back to their places.
Must have been something to see.
He had never seen it,
Yeah.
but it's a beauty.
And that was in your hometown.
My hometown was better than when I left.
Yes.
Okay.
And my wife, hometown in this Prince, about 5 miles from Corleone.
Oh, okay.
The town Corleone?
Yeah, sure, the famous.
Everybody knows Corleone.
Right.
And that's for sure. Actually, the town is a prison.
Prince.
Yeah.
Ralph, did you ever go back?
Oh yes, yes, sure. I was back twice. Went in Italy, once in Sicily with my family, and went back to my town. You know, where I was born. I showed them much of the house and the room where I was born, because at that time, you know, the hospital was very expensive. Not too many people can afford it to go to the hospital. So everybody was, you know, every woman was, you know, could help when it was time for the birth, you know, for somebody else, another midwife or whatever they call it. And I remember that the hospital was a very small hospital, you know, there were only about 6 rooms altogether. To give you an idea, there were only 2 doctors in the whole hospital. To give you an idea what kind of the hospital was 50 years ago. I mean, almost 70 years ago. You know, when I was 7 years old, I went for my tonsil because I had some problem with the tonsil, to operate on that tonsil. And the way they operated me, you know, they put me in a chair like this one, and I was only 7 years old, think about it. And they put my hands behind my back, and my uncle was holding my hands behind my back. There was a nurse holding my head back, and they put this machine, and they would open up my mouth wider, wider. And this was another problem. Then the problem, the thing that was bothering me, of course they gave me intravenous, you know,
Oh, they
they,
did, okay.
they knocked me out at first, you know, I mean, not completely, but at least partially. But the thing that was bothering me the most, one of the nurses grabbing my tongue with a plier or something like that, you know. I'm serious, you know. You I was a tool of torture or something, whatever. And she pulled her tongue sideways, so the doctor could go in with the scissors, and I was really cutting. I mean, my tonsil were so bad, they went in 9 times to do the whole job. And the only thing I remember that was bothering me was that the nurse pulling my tongue. I was like, my tongue, and you know, and it was that's to give you an idea, you know, how what kind of the hospital we were dealing with.
Okay.
And so I showed all my kids the house where I was born, and they you know, the room. It was so nice, and the lady wanted the property, the house. She let us see the house, you know. So that's my experience. So
That's wonderful.
It was the same thing with us when we went the first time. We took the kids, the children. 2 of them are, you know, on that age, like 15. So they remember, they still remember. And they saw, you know, where I was born, where we lived after, and the whole town. And they were amazed.
Did you find that the Sons of Italy has helped you?
You always learn. You always learn new things in Sons of Italy. It's a wonderful organization.
How about you, Ralph? When did you join the Sons of Italy?
I would say maybe 12 years ago. And the beginning I was a little more for curiosity than anything else. I want to see what it was this all about. And after I joined, I realized that it was a good way to follow you heritage, family history alive, you know, from Italy. So I become a part of our church with the council. I want to make sure that, you know, everything was going on in the best way we can, you know, to make it, to get more people in and make them understand how important it was that we keep our heritage going, you know, and alive.
Talking about your heritage, I know you've brought some photos. Why don't you show me some of the photos of what you've got there? What do you have there?
But this is my hometown.
And that's Princy?
That's Princy.
Okay, and you lived there until what age?
Till 11.
Till 11 years old. Okay, so that's Princy. Do you have any photos of your hometown, Ralph?
Oh yes. I have some that I'm working over here. In here, I guess it's a house that I was living in. You know, when I was, I would say maybe 8 years old.
Okay.
And here, the property that you know, we were walking around after, you know, to help my parents, you know, picking up stuff from the trees and things like this.
Oh, very good. And Now, Anna, what is this photograph that you have here? This is a pretty nice
This is my parents' wedding.
Your parents' wedding
Right.
In Prince.
in Pritzi. Okay, that's a beautiful photograph.
And this is, I believe this is Bagadia.
That's where you're from,
Yeah.
Bagaria.
Bagheria is a town, provincia Palermo, close to the shore.
Close to the shore, Bagaria.
Yeah. Closer to the.
It's a seaside town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, when I was to go to school in Manhattan to become a beautician, of course, I was taking my laundry with me, and the car did a launch on the bus and the train, especially in the summer days, it wasn't enough fun. But one day I saw another guy, was going to the same school, eating something that looked like a sausage. I said, what's that? I asked a question. I says, they call hot dogs. Hot dogs, wow, look delicious. I said, it's very good. Go back around to the corner, it's the deli. You go there, ask for a dog. If you want also ask for a Coke. And that's what I did. The following day I went to the deli, and when it was my turn, I asked the guy, I said, can I have a hot dog and Coke? Yeah, sure. So he gave me the hot dog and Coke. It was delicious. It was my first time I ate hot dog. And believe it or not, for the next 3 weeks, that's the only thing I eat, hot dog every day, because I don't know any other words for any other something different to eat. Then one day I went back to the same place, and somebody else was there, So I asked, when it was my turn, I asked again. He says, "Can I have a hot dog and Coke?" The guy said to me, "Yeah, sure. Just to give me a couple minutes, I may give you Frankfurt." Frankfurt. I said, "What the hell is the Frankfurt?" I said, "I have no idea what he's talking about." I look at him and said, maybe he doesn't understand what I was saying to him. So this time I said a little louder to him. I says, "Me hot dog and Coke." The guy said, "I heard you the first time." So you give me just 2 minutes, so your Frankfurt is coming up. I said, "Again with the Frankfurt." I said, what kind of this stuff is this guy gonna give me to eat? So I look at him, I bow my head down, like, I say, "Oh man." As soon as he turned his back on me, I run out of the door as soon as quick as I could. That was really my first experience with the language, because I didn't know I learned in the future the Frankfurt hot dog was the same thing. By that time, it was a strange thing to eat it. It scared the hell out of me. I also had some trouble traveling, to go from New York to Jamaica and back from Jamaica. I used to live in Rosedale at the time, and so I was taking the bus to Jamaica. From Jamaica, I was going to New York, and back from New York to Jamaica and to Rosedale. If you think you got trouble with the subway today, imagine almost 50 years ago, we had a problem every single day almost. And the one time the train got stuck at one of the stations, I had no idea where, So everybody made us all get out of the train, and everybody started going out from the station. I was one of the few left there. I don't know what to do. I say, where am I going? If I get out from the station, I might get lost. I was in some place in New York. I don't even know where. So I was lucky that I saw far away a policeman. So I run to him and says, "Sir, you speak Italiano?" The guy says, "No." Says, "Why? What's the matter?" He trying to understand what was my problem. I said, "Me don't know. Me lost." He says, "Okay, hold on, don't get nervous." So he grabbed his radio and called the station, and I could see he was trying to find out somebody, in the station who speak Italian. And then he gave me the radio to me. He says, "Talk." So I say, "Aye." Somebody on the phone, on the radio answers, says, "I'm a policeman, io sono italiano. Mia madre e mio padre vengono di Frosinone." So good. I felt relieved, for somebody can speak my language. So I say to him, qual è tuo problema? What's your problem? He says, "I'm lost over here. The train stopped. I don't know why they make us get off. I don't know. I'll have to go to Jamaica because I don't know any other way, what other train to take." I say, so "Give me back the other policeman. I will explain to him what can you do." So he talked to the other guy, the policeman next to me, and he said to me, She said, okay. She said, he's gonna take it to the station. So I followed the policeman to the station, you know, about 2 blocks away. We went to the gates. He put me on the train. He said to me, Jamaica, you okay? Go stay there in Jamaica. So I realized that the train would take me to Jamaica, and that wasn't my first experience, you know, with the trains. And that's it, you know.
Well, I hope you've gotten some insight into what it's like to move from Italy to live in the United States. I want to thank my guests, Joe Moriali, Anna Moriali, and Ralph Pace for their participation in this program and their wonderful insights into the immigrant experience. Well, I hope to see you at the next Sons of Italy meeting. Ciao.